What's going on, everybody, and welcome on into episode 323 of the Garage Beers podcast, brought to you proudly here on the OBR streaming network. The Orange and Brown Report is Cleveland's oldest, largest independent Browns coverage site. And then on Wednesday nights, you get to hang out with us goofballs and talk about the Browns. We're actually going to talk about the Browns tonight. We have actively avoided this. For months, we have actively avoided this, but we're back. And we're going to talk about the Cleveland Browns, and we got a great special guest to do it. We're going to bring him in just a minute. So we're glad you're here. Just a couple quick shout-outs. First of all, get over to the OBR.com. Make sure you hit subscribe. Again, right now is when you want to be subscribed to the OBR. So make sure you get over there. You hit subscribe. There's big stuff coming at the OBR, so you want to be tuned into that. Also, get over to the socials and follow us at The Garage Beers on Twitter and Facebook and wherever else you're on socials, so you can be tuned in there. Just get over there and hit follow, and make sure you are subscribed and following and liking all the videos and all that as we go. Also, if you're joining us live here tonight, I already see comments rolling in. Our buddy Chef Brian K. announcing himself as Kermit the Frog. And Phil is not about, loves the hold music. We've called it our porn music for a long time, but I guess hold music is fine. You guys are here. If you're in the comments, make sure you keep it active, have fun, and we'll bring you in on the show. We're glad you're here. With you as always, I'm your host, Michael Key. Find me online at Garage Beers Mike. Joining me over on the east side of Cleveland tonight, Chad Meyer at Garage Beers. Chad, what's up, Chad?
Garage Beers After Dark.
That's
why that music is our porn music.
Yes.
Hey, man.
That's stuff I don't want to think about.
Hey, man, I'm good. No, that's stuff I'm thinking about. I'm sitting here watching Press Your Luck, the new version.
Hey, no way.
Yeah, the new version. And I just can't get enough. Elizabeth Banks is the host now. The chick from 40-Year-Old Virgin. Yeah. It's a little crazy. But if I zone out during Brown's training camp talk, just know that I'm worried about whammies. I'm worried about whammies.
Isn't there a story about a guy that figured that show out on the original show? He figured out the cadence of the thing, and he just never lost until they had to kick him off the show.
Yeah,
it was a big deal.
I'm sure everybody does that, right? It's like that movie 21. They figured out how many cards to count in blackjack, and
remember Card Sharks?
Yeah, everybody figures out patterns, and it feels like someone always figures. Wasn't there a Price is Right documentary on the same thing? Someone figured out how to cheat games?
Yeah, yes. Or the guy that memorized all the prices. Yes, it's all people that have way too much time on their hands, to be honest. But they go in and make a lot of money. Well, listen, no Joe tonight. He's going up to the Finger Lakes for a buddy's bachelor party. So we actually saw him last night, but now he's on his way up to New York. But he'll be back. I don't know when he's going to be back, but he will be back. But it's Chad and I, and we're going to get into a lot of stuff later. MLB trade deadline's coming up. The Guardians still just sitting there right around the top of the division. So is anything going to happen there? Maybe. The LeBron saga ended on Friday. We haven't gotten a chance to talk about that, so we'll talk about that. Some college football weird stuff. We're going to get to all that later in the show, but we're going to start with our special guest, the guy that's been covering Cleveland sports for a long time. He was not asked to be on the show tonight because we couldn't get to the third, fourth, or fifth string interns of any other media. He's actually a guy we love to have on the show. Plus, as a Rocky River guy, or that's where I was raised, I love the fellow Rocky River-ish connection here as well. But again, you know him from Channel 19. We're going to bring him in right now. It's Schwabby, Mark Schwab. Schwabby, welcome back to the Garage.
What's going on, boys? Always good to be in the garage.
Yeah, Rocky River, huh? Well, I have a Rocky River connection too, so this is a Rocky River trifecta here, guys.
All right, Pirates getting it going here. High school football starts in 3.5 weeks, right?
Yeah, Chad and I will be on the call. 10 weeks. We got 10 weeks on the call.
Yeah,
so we're ready.
We've got Walsh Jesuit at Highland week 1, Mark. So it's a big one. Yeah.
You know, it's funny you said that because I was in here yesterday talking with Scott Piker, one of our producers, and Pike and I usually do a lot of work putting together our high school schedule for Friday Football Frenzy. That's our show. And he was like, I know Highland is a big one, but I can't remember who it was against. Now I know.
Walsh.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hornets and Warriors, oh my.
Oh, yeah.
I did the game. We call games for WEOL. I did the game. I did Avon and Walsh in the playoffs last year, and man, oh man, was that hyped up. That was going to be Avon's biggest test, and it was just going to, and Avon just, and Walsh I remember correctly, Walsh returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. And it was like, oh, man. And then it reminded you very much of what happened to Ohio State against Florida in the national championship game.
I don't like to talk about that.
I know, but that's what happened to Walt. Avon
I know.
took
Yeah.
over the game. It was over. So Schwabby, what's going on, man? How are you?
Good, man. You know, it's training camp started today. You set us up. We got the trade deadline coming up, and LeBron things in the books. We're just transitioning from one thing really to another. We closed the Cavs LeBron off season. I know that there's still a little off season left, but I don't know what they're doing. They're probably not a big move left. But now we move into Browns. We all know how that can dominate the conversation. You said you had avoided talking about it.
Months.
That's great if you can do it, because it always seems to find you. There's so many ways that you just end up back at the Browns. But if you can hold off until it's appropriate, now it's appropriate, that's always great.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate the fact that you dressed up for us in the garage here.
You know what it was?
Fantastic.
The TV didn't have anything to do with it. I was going to dress like a slob, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going on with the boys tonight.
Yeah.
Little do we know he's got boxers underneath, but he's putting a shirt and tie on.
I once did a TV show on Sports Time Ohio where it wasn't boxers, but it was full-blown ratty cargo shorts with, I think, Adidas or something. And I was, suit and everything up top. And I just felt like such a grind ball after that. I never did it again.
I'll never forget we're going to get to the Browns, I promise. I will never forget, though, being a student at Bowling Green when College Game Day came, when they had a top 25 matchup between the Bowling Green Falcons and the Huskies of Northern Illinois, Michael Burner Turner against Josh Harris and all the Bowling Green Falcons. They were so good that year until they played Ben Roethlisberger twice, and it was terrible. But College Game Day came. It was the biggest thing ever there at Bowling Green, right? Like, that doesn't happen. And we went the night before, because College Game Day will do like the hitter, like the quick hitter things for the night before. And there they all are up there in their suits and their shorts, because they don't really get dressed up for the night before stuff on College Game Day. They get dressed up for the day, but not the night before when they're just sitting at the desks. So that was exactly how they looked, Mark.
Business up top, casual down below.
Yeah, I was hammered by 9 a.m. that day.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
It's funny. I went to a trade school. We're just talking now. We're totally off the rails.
That's okay.
I went to a trade school, so I didn't go away to school, but my best friend went to Ohio State. And I would find my way down there because it's a great place to be, even if you don't have tickets to the game. And we almost never did, but it's a great atmosphere. The only time I have ever been like 3 sheets to the wind, and I almost never get drunk, even back then. But the only time I have been like 3 sheets to the wind before 11 a.m. was before an Ohio State game, and we were playing like tackle football, shirts and skins. The field moved
Guys
from
being
like
dudes.
Driveway to a lawn. It was, it's one of these things. It's like, oh yeah, you're on campus and you're drunk, and it's like 10:30.
Yeah.
Listen, things happen on college football Saturdays. Things just happen.
100%. Yeah.
Just a bunch of guys being dudes. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I mean, shirts and skins, tackle football on a driveway. How well do you think that worked out for some of them?
Well, you had enough to drink. It didn't matter, did it?
No, you didn't feel it till the next morning.
The John Courage going. That was like 30 years ago.
Oh, for sure.
Right. My
brother, God rest his soul. One of the last times we really did anything together. It was Ohio State Michigan weekend. The game was in Ann Arbor, but I was like, let's just go down to Columbus. It'll be crazy. It'll be parties galore. It'll be a cool ass atmosphere. We get there, absolutely desolate. Like, nobody's around, nobody's doing anything. Like, what the hell is going on here? And then it hit me. It's Thanksgiving weekend. Like nobody's on campus. Nobody's around.
Oh, yeah.
So what did we just come down here for? But luckily, it was late enough to where the varsity club almost opened. So we made our way to the bar for a party. But this whole tailgate experience, this whole people lining up outside of houses, like nope, that was not the case at all. So it was kind of funny.
So, Schwabby, listen, we could tell a lot of college stories, but let's talk about the Cleveland Browns, because there's actually stuff to talk about. I know. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. I know that's not why you're here. But let's start with some news from the past couple days, which are defensive backs are getting paid Denzel Ward, again, the highest paid defensive player in the history of football. And Grant Delpit gets announced. He gets his deal today. That's the one that I think a lot of people were like, got to get Grant Delpit's done. Got it. I think the Denzel Ward one was like kind of a nice surprise. The Grant Delpit one was a lot of people were anticipating getting that one done and wanting to get that one done. So just talking, the way this offseason has gone for the Browns, and obviously you lose Myles Garrett, but they feel very confident in replacing him with Jared Verse, and you get all the other stuff that comes with it. And you talk about just kind of reinvesting money into these guys like Denzel Ward and Grant Delpit. What does this say? What does this say to the team? What does this say about the Browns?
I'll tell you what, I still don't get the Myles Garrett trade. And I know you asked me about the defensive backs, but it's connected to that because normally if you trade Myles Garrett, it signals a rebuild. Yet they're clearly not. And they've said this for years when they doubled down when he wanted to trade a year ago and they gave him more money. It's like, okay, they're not rebuilding. And then they traded him and like, that doesn't make any sense because you just gave him a huge contract. And now they're extending other veterans. So clearly not signaling a rebuild, which makes me further not understand the Myles Garrett trade at all. I've never thought they got enough for him. If Jared Verse turns into a guy that gets 12, 13 sacks a year, then I might be convinced. He hasn't shown that that's what he does. And he's got 12 sacks in 2 years. So they're extending their veterans. Good. You want their good players. The Browns don't have many good players. They got good players on defense, so you want to keep them around. It just makes me further not understand the Myles Garrett trade because you made your defense worse. Verse is a good player, but the tier gap, the drop from what Myles does to that guy is significant. And to me, they didn't get nearly enough to bridge that gap. I don't get that trade. I don't understand the national media that's gone nuts over it and said the Browns got a haul. I don't see it.
Okay, so having said that, this actually kind of leads perfectly into my first question on this.
Great.
Given the deals that just happened today, are either of you surprised that these two re-signed? I mean, Grant Delpit has quoted himself as saying he's forgotten how to win here with the Browns. Like he's forgotten what it's like to win.
He's just a true Clevelander at this point. Join the club, pal. Join the club.
So is any of you surprised they re-upped? I mean, I know money talks. I know they probably had a conversation with Andrew Berry, but Denzel and Grant have lost just as much as Myles had. So is it any shock to anybody that they've re-upped?
Denzel didn't really surprise me. I mean, he had 2 years left. I think it was more surprising that maybe the club would offer it, but to me, I wasn't surprised that he signed it. It's a huge contract.
Yeah.
It's not like he had free agency just around the corner. He's also from here, so that makes sense. Delpit, yeah, I mean, it says he's got the buy-in, and they've lost their defensive coordinator. Obviously, they got a new DC. So he has no ties to the area other than he plays here. He only had 1 year left. New defensive coordinator. He's forgotten how to win. I am a little surprised he was like, yep. But sometimes it just takes showing somebody a whole bunch of zeros at the end of a contract, and I guess that was enough. Maybe he'll remember how to win. The team hasn't remembered that since the Reagan administration. It would be great if they could get that fixed.
That'd be great.
I tend to hate reckless speculation, even though, God, are we all surrounded by it. And my follow-up to that is, yes, I did go to Bowling Green, but I also went to Texas A&M. And I love Myles Garrett. I loved having Myles
You went to A&M?
I did, yes.
I had no idea you were in a cult.
I am a little cultish. I wear the ring and everything. I'm a little cultish.
Goodness.
I did. I only went for 2 years, though, so I only half culted.
Okay.
Grad school.
I went to grad school, and then I got out of there. Grad school and got out.
By the way, before they email, I love the Aggie people. I got my wife's from Texas, so her family is like split Horns and Aggies. And I have never seen anything like the Aggie fan base.
It's crazy.
Ever.
I went down there. I went to Bowling Green. I'm born and raised in Cleveland, Rocky River. I've been an Ohio State fan forever. Kyle Manzardo just hit a home run. That's ridiculous.
Did it? Yes.
I've been an Ohio State fan forever. I went down to A&M. People are going to be like, you going to be an A&M fan? I went, no, absolutely not. I went to my very first A&M game and I went, oh, shit, I'm a fan. Okay. All right.
I want to go. I've never been. I want to go.
It's unlike anything ever of all time.
I want to go.
It's wild. Anyways, so here I'm coming back to the Myles Garrett thing for a minute because
I'm all over the place tonight.
No, this is how garage beers should be, man. We're just hanging out in the garage drinking some beers, and I know you got to work, so you can't really drink beers, but
yeah, I got water.
That's all right. But I wonder, and this is reckless speculation. This is not me trying to insinuate that I know anything, but I agree with you. I didn't like the trade. I like Jared Verse. I like getting picks. I like, but like for the consensus, he's the best player in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like to just get that, I didn't like it. But it makes me wonder a couple of things. One, it makes me wonder if he was getting loud behind the scenes, because he was fine here in that, like, he's the goofy, he's going to go home and play Dungeons and Dragons and hang out with his snowboarder hot girlfriend. And like, he's fine, but it makes me wonder. He did the trade request last year. Then they went through the year they went through this year, and they fire the coach and they bring in Todd Monken, they whatever. And it makes me wonder if, his reaction to the Monken signing was not great. The Monken hiring and Schwartz leaving. It makes me wonder if he wasn't getting a little noisy in the background, and they finally went, all right, like, this guy is just going to get progressively worse and worse and worse, not on the field, obviously, but in the background. And then it makes me wonder if the players didn't notice it. When you see guys, I understand Denzel Ward and signing the biggest contract for a defensive back of all time. But Grant Delpit, other guys, it does feel like there's a little bit of a different energy, and it makes me wonder if Miles wasn't at least a little part of that.
I've heard that brought up. That is a reasonable counter to that. Maybe he just didn't want to be here.
It doesn't make me like what they get in the trade anymore. But
here's what I say to that. I'm going to force his hand. He has no leverage.
Right.
He just signed. He was 1 year into a 4-year extension that was paying him $40 million a year. He cannot show up. Please call that bluff. I want to see the dude that doesn't show up for $40 million a year. Or he shows up and grumbles and just looks like a supreme wacko because he's getting $40 million. It's clear. It's like airplane. When you bought the ticket, you knew what you were getting into. And to be grumbling that vociferously, if that was the case after only 1 year, to me, that looks bad on him. I think either way, he would have looked bad. I wish they would have called his bluff on that. If that was the case, I wish they would have pressed that a little bit.
Yeah, listen, I get it. I would rather have Myles Garrett here than not have him here. But in just trying to think of, you see these other guys extending, and again, it feels like maybe there's a different energy around the team, and it just makes me wonder, all right, maybe Myles was a little grumpy and grumbly behind the scenes more than he was even in person, and maybe that was flowing down to the rest of the team, and now you have a new coach, and you don't want to, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of reasonings. That's all. I'd rather have him.
I mean, it stands to reason that, sure, like, everybody talked about Miles' leadership. I mean, that's a whole different thing. But Miles was he was just kind of a guy that came in and did his job, right? Like he wasn't
better than anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, better than everybody else, sure, but like he wasn't. I wouldn't necessarily call it reckless speculation, because if you just watch the guy, he doesn't seem like the biggest team guy. He didn't seem like the biggest team guy. He seems like a guy that came to do his job, did it better than everybody else, like you said, and collect his paycheck. He seemed like this. So it just seemed like that. I don't know that it's speculation, but I wouldn't necessarily call it reckless if you just watch the guy operate.
I always remember his Friday press conferences. I feel like for a while they got a little spicy. A few years back, it was like he wasn't afraid to kind of call people out. And I don't mind that, I guess, but the way he did it seemed weird.
Yeah.
And so I agree with you. I don't know if he was the biggest team. To say he's not a team guy makes him sound selfish. So I don't mean it that way.
Right.
But he didn't seem like he had if he was showing leadership, it seemed like an odd form of leadership. Yeah. I would absolutely consider that. Yeah.
It felt like the buy-in was never truly there. Is that fair?
I think the buy-in as far as team leader might not have been there.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Cleveland Browns to watch of all time. But at the same time, I think it was also a little bit telling when they traded him that it wasn't real noisy around the team. There wasn't a lot of.
Oh, there was. I mean, I know Ashley Holder, one of our reporters, got 1 or 2 texts from guys that were like, "I'm gonna go drink." Like, I don't think they liked it.
All right. All right.
So, I'm sure. I don't know. I don't know how well that was received. So,
all right. That's fair.
We'll see. And maybe the camp was split. Maybe there's 5-6 guys really upset, a few guys that were happier to see him go. But I mean, the teammates really liked him. You remember that celebration when he got the sack record?
Yeah.
One of the dudes, I can't remember what it was, you picked it up on the parabolic. He got it. It was legitimate enthusiasm for their guy.
Yeah.
Carson Schlesinger was worried about his slice. He was just worried about fixing his slice. He wasn't worried about it at all.
I'm going to miss him, but let's talk about guys that are on the Browns real quick because we got camp going on. They were out there today. We got, again, the thing, everybody, that's all we're going to talk about. And this is why we're still trying to avoid them a little bit because all we're really going to talk about, it's fun to watch the new young receivers and Harold Fannin and this defense that apparently looked really great today, according to a lot of people that watched it. But again, all we're going to talk about is quarterbacks, and it's Deshaun Watson and it's Shedeur Sanders. And it is, I don't know, Mark, what are we taking away from day one of watching Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson?
Not taking anything away from it. It's day one between two guys that are probably not the answer. So I was talking about this yesterday on our podcast, Off the Leash, with Fred. Fred Greetham joins us for that every week. Fred does a great job. And I said, I do a true-false question every week. I just go true-false and make a statement, and the panel reacts. So the true-false question was this quarterback conversation is totally overblown. And it was split, some true, some false. But it was like we're spending so much time and energy talking about this. And a year from now, we're doing it again with probably 2 different names. Or at least maybe it's one name who was drafted and can he be the guy is the conversation. I get it. We have to do it. It's the NFL. It's the most important position. Everyone loves the Browns. We all know what the Browns are. So you're going to do it. But we're going to look back in 3 years and go, what were we doing? This conversation spent about this. So where I'm going with this is I don't really, it doesn't matter. One guy, there is no way, I believe one of these dudes is going to be the primary starter that's starting 15, 16, 17 games, where he doesn't get hurt or it's a minor injury and then he's back. There's probably going to be some flux. If Deshaun gets the job, the first time he's bad, it's when you go into Shedeur. If Shedeur gets the job and he's bad, can you go to Deshaun to try to spark something? We'll have all those conversations. You guys know that's where this is going. Right, that's absolutely where this is going. I could give you best case scenarios. One is Watson finds his old form. I would love to see it. He was a top 5 quarterback. We've never seen it here. It's probably not going to happen. Sanders is the guy. To me, he was a 5th round pick for a reason. I'd love to be wrong. It's probably not going to happen. That's where I'm at. I would like to bring up a separate quarterback point while we're here, and then I'll let you guys.
All right. No, this is overblown, Mark. No, we don't want.
Yeah, but this particular part I'm about to say is not, and I am dying to see how many first team reps Taylon Green gets in training camp because last year we were told if you do not give a day 3 quarterback first team reps, you are sabotaging him. You are out to get him. Why did you even draft him? You should trade him so he can have a chance. It's the same narrative, gentlemen. As Michael Irvin once said, I want it reported with the same intensity. The same intensity.
Yes. Day
3 quarterback, how dare you deprive him of first team reps in an open quarterback competition?
That's it. God. That's it. By the end of the year, Taylon Green is going to be starting. Okay? I said it.
Can we view things through that lens for a moment to talk about how stupid that was last year when people were bitching and complaining that Shedeur Sanders, who was the 4th quarterback on the board, just like Green is now, who was a day 3 pick and wasn't getting first team reps? Could we look at it through that context of how stupid that conversation was?
And you had Joe Flacco in camp. Like, what are we talking about?
It didn't make sense to me then. It never made sense. It should never make sense to anyone. He's in the conversation now because he did enough to earn the bid. Last year at this time, people screaming for it, ridiculous.
And that's just another reason why I just feel bad for the kid, Mark, because all of these narratives, the conversation surrounding him, none of it has been caused by Shedeur. Like he's done is come in and has been a quarterback that has worked hard, has been good in the community, and is trying to improve. Like none of this stuff that that anybody's been talking about with Shedeur has had anything to do with anything that he's been doing, whether it's been from a football standpoint, anything else. That's it.
Yeah. You haven't heard anything about him like being lazy and not trying.
Yeah.
No.
You've never heard him talked about in the sense of he did something illegal, right? He's got some, the quote baggage, and I'm using air quotes because it's not truly baggage, is that, yeah, he's a cocky kid. Okay. There's a lot of cocky guys in the NFL. I never bought the narrative that he fell from the first round to the fifth round because he was cocky. No. That makes no sense. Caleb Williams, the year before, was a cocky dude who only met with one team and acted a little flaky sometimes, and he went first overall.
Yes.
I think he was around 3 or 4 pick, and he fell to the 5th because he didn't handle himself in the meetings well. You guys know not handling yourself in the meetings well can hurt you. That's about the only bad thing we've ever heard about Shedeur. He's not in trouble with the law. He's not doing the stuff Johnny Manziel did. Being lazy. He was just kind of a cocky kid. I think he's probably a 5th round pick for a reason. He's worked hard. Give him that credit.
Would you want confidence in a quarterback that thinks he's a franchise quarterback? Like part of being a franchise quarterback.
Right. Show me the dude that'd be like, yeah, I'm terrible. They should probably. I get it. He's confident. I don't think we sound like he didn't handle himself well in meetings, but that's now in the draft. That was like a year and a half ago. So if that's the only immature thing you could talk about with him, then that's some of that narrative gets overblown. Maybe he's just not very good. Maybe that's why he fell to the 5th round.
And that's all. He might not be. He might not be very good. But I do like that Chad brings this up every once in a while when we get into this conversation, because it just happened with this kid. He did before training camp, before he came into town, they did a photo shoot at his house. And it was look at him, focused on everything but football. Doesn't care about winning and it was he did a photo shoot. Tom Brady wasn't doing photo shoots for GQ magazine. What?
And that's when you do it. It's June.
Right. Yes. What do we care?
That's when you do stuff. That's when you shoot if he's in commercials, this will happen. If he's in a commercial and he has a bad game and he's doing an ad selling cars and people are going to be like, well, he's more converted. But no, you do all that stuff in June. You shoot the ads in June. You do the photo shoots in June. You go to the beach in June, right?
Yeah.
That's when you do it now. It doesn't matter that he's standing on pictures of his jerseys if he took the pictures in June. And frankly, it probably doesn't even matter if he did it on a Tuesday in the regular season. That's their off day.
I've never rooted for a kid harder. I hope he's successful, whether it's here or somewhere else. I hope he's successful.
Well, no, just here. I hope he's successful here because that would be awesome.
Sure.
All right, Schwab, I got a what if for you.
Oh,
we know we lost Myles Garrett, but I think the anticipation is it's still a good defense. It's still a good defense, and you know the weaponry they've added offensively over the last 2 years. They've completely revamped the offensive line, and that's a question mark, but it can't be worse than last year. And obviously the wide receiver additions and the running back and Harold Finn and all that. And so here's my what if. Shedeur Sanders, when he played, and I'm not trying to knock the kid, 5th round rookie, was very predictably the worst quarterback in the NFL last year, statistically.
Yeah, there was some bad analytics on him, yeah.
Let's say Todd Monken, let's say a year of growth and work, and let's say Shedeur Sanders comes into this year and he performs as the 20th quarterback ranked in the NFL. Yeah. Right? I'm not saying he's top 10 or top 15. Right. He's still bottom 3rd of the league, but he's 20th. What could this Browns team do? Do you think? Do you think this roster is good enough to where they could actually be pretty competitive if that happens?
So that's where I really hate the fact that they traded Myles, because they would be better. But yeah, they should be. I mean, obviously that was the biggest problem, is this offense just couldn't get out of its own way. So if he's calling competent, right? One of those types of guys. He's competent quarterbacking. not killing you. They should be better. What's reasonable? I mean, at that point, you're contending for what, somewhere between 8-9 wins. 10, I mean, maybe 10 if you're.
And it's hard to get that even out of your mouth as 10 wins, but like, yes.
I know. They play 17 now, so 10-7. I don't know if it's comparable to the old 9-7 or the old 10-6. But
I would take that.
So
much.
You've got in the division, the Steelers have a new head coach. The Ravens have a new head coach. Ravens lost him. I know they added Hendrickson, but they lost Linderbaum, who was huge. I know they replaced him with Posick, but Linderbaum was a huge part of the offensive line. I mean, two new head coaches. McCarthy's a veteran, but still, you don't exactly know how that's going to go. I think the Bengals are going to be really dang good this year.
Yeah,
but
they should.
If Joe gets hurt, then that's right out the window. So what we're talking about here is, yes, there's a reasonable scenario where we're talking about the Browns in December playing meaningful football. And when you look at the standings, are they in the hunt category? There's the goal: be in the hunt in December.
But they're going to be in the hunt, and they're going to be like 4-7.
Well, I mean, at some point they just put that up if you're not mathematically eliminated. But you're right, 4-7 in the hunt. Get out of here. It's like the team that's 11 games under 500 in baseball, but they're 5 out of a wild card, so you're in it.
Right, you're in the hunt. The hunt. All right, Schwabi, man, it's been fun talking about it. Just one more thing before we let you go, but just maybe one other. We're gonna spend so much time with these quarterbacks and overanalyzing, and I did want to make this point before, and then I'm gonna ask you this question. But I think people, when they look at what's going on with the quarterbacks in training camp, should think about what happens with pitchers in spring training. I don't care if a pitcher has a 6 ERA in spring training because he's probably just working on his fastball. Like, it doesn't matter if he gets hit. It doesn't matter. He doesn't care. It's the same thing with these. I will never stand up for Deshaun Watson for any reason. Never, based on what he has done here even. But, like, I don't care that he threw 2 picks today because you don't know that he was just trying to get on a timing thing with his receiver. Like, it is what it is. Having said all that about quarterbacks, what's maybe the one other big thing that you're really going to be paying attention to as they go through training camp? What's to you maybe the most fascinating thing about the Browns in training camp outside of quarterback?
In training camps, because most of the stuff I'd be fascinated by, you won't really know till the regular season. But I guess one thing I want to know what Judkins looks like in camp, in the games. Like, there were times last year, you guys saw him, he just looked awesome. And then he had the bad leg. And sometimes, that first year back, it's not quite the same. So that's one for me, is I want to see how he's handled, how he does. And that's a big one for me. He was a huge part of the offense. I don't need to tell you guys that. So I guess that would be the main one. There's others, of course, but for me, that would be the big one.
Love it. All right, Schwabi, I know you're still working. So you got to go get to that.
Sports Extra coming up in an hour and 15 minutes.
Let's go.
Go get a nap in or something before you got to go on Sports Extra. But again, we really appreciate you coming on. Sorry you couldn't have a beer with us, but next time we do it, you can have a beer with us and hang out. And we really appreciate you. Make sure you're going and following Mark Schwab online for all of his good stuff. And again, appreciate you. Go Browns. And we'll talk to you soon.
You got it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Schwabi.
Thanks, Mark.
Mark Schwab from Channel 19. Again, he's going to be on Sports Extra, so if you want to catch that after Garage Beers, not directly here, but, go over and watch it on TV, you can do that. But I love having Schwabi on. Very few people, I think, are as entertaining as Mark Schwab. That is why anytime he comes on, I'm just like, let's go. I love it.
Isn't he a Bengals fan?
Who cares?
No, I was just saying, isn't he a Bengals fan to start? Like, didn't he grow up being a Bengals fan?
But who cares? We don't hold it against him.
No, I don't. I was just wondering. I thought I remembered that he was a Bengals fan, so I just wanted to ask.
We got a couple of those. We got a couple of those kind of guys and gals in Cleveland media, and we don't hold it against him because he says good things about the Browns sometimes.
Well, sure. Look, I'm just wondering.
And he's just good. Look at Chocolate Bear. Chocolate Bear thinks he's always so good. I agree.
Mark, always so good. Yeah,
always. That should be his slogan. I should say that on his business card.
Mark Schwab, always so good.
So good. I love it. Yeah. All right, go follow Schwabi. Again, love him, love having him on, and we really appreciate his time and willingness to take a little time as he preps for work to come on and join us here on Garage Beers. Chad, anything, any other? We got to do our beers of the week. We got to do our asshole of the week. Our Browns conversation is going to lead directly into my asshole of the week. So I kind of get there. But like, anything else that you're going to hyper focus on? I mean, I think there's going to be some really interesting conversations the Cleveland Browns are going to have this year, or going to have this year, regarding who's going to make this team. I think from the offensive line perspective, it's going to be some really interesting. Zach Zinter. I know DeJuan Jones got run with the ones today. I don't think you're going to get rid of DeJuan Jones, but now you got multiple new tackles in. I think there's going to be some really interesting conversations there. I think who's going to start and who's going to start along the line. Again, I think Parker Brailsford, I think he's coming out of camp the starter. That is my prediction going into camp. It is my prediction coming out of camp. I think they will move Jenkins over to right guard. I don't think Tevin Jenkins is going to start. I think Parker Brailsford will be the center. I think, obviously, the wide receiver room. You add Boston Concepcion, you've got Judy. There is so much talk about Isaiah Bond and the way he's looked throughout the offseason. So now you're talking about, okay, well, you still got these, Jamari Thrash and Ced Tillman and like some of these other guys that are going to be like a little bit lower in that room than they've been before. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things when it comes to just roster construction and who's going to make it.
Mike, listen, I don't give a shit about that. What I want to know is who's the UDFA that everybody's going to go nuts over. I just want to know that. Okay, that's all I want to know. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about the rest of it. No, I'm interested to see how the receivers come along.
Larvin.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how those receivers come along. I'm really excited to watch Concepcion in Boston. There's no reason to think that Fannin shouldn't take a leap because, look what he did in his rookie year. And, with the way that Todd Monken uses tight ends in his offense, I think he's going to be a huge weapon this year. He was a huge weapon last year, but I think Todd Monken's going to be able to open things up for him, especially now that you added a guy like Concepcion in Boston to that wide receiver room. It might take a little bit of time to open things up there, but I think eventually, once the other defenses realize that Boston and Concepcion are threats, I think Harold Fannin's going to play a big part in his offense. But ultimately, it comes down to the quarterbacks. Obviously, it's just.
Yeah,
it's we have to talk about the other things, but really, the quarterbacks are the only conversation completely worth having because the success of this team is going to come down to, can these guys be competent? But there's plenty of other.
What Schwab said, and you agreed with it, and I do too.
Yeah,
that is what this team is.
It is.
This team is bad quarterback play from another 4 or 5 win season.
Yeah,
and they're decent, competent quarterback play away from 9 or 10 wins.
Right.
That's right. This roster. People act. I don't know why I keep hearing, and I don't think the Browns deserve the benefit of the doubt for any fucking reason whatsoever.
They don't.
They don't deserve any benefit of the doubt for any reason.
No, they don't.
But I'm also not. I'm not going to let my Browns PTSD, anger, whatever, make me act like an idiot. Like,
sure.
This is a very good roster. Sure. It has potential to be really good.
Sure.
And it's all going to just come down to can your quarterback not be the worst in the league?
Right. Yeah. No. And honestly, I'm interested to watch this defense play collectively as a unit. Right. Like, the fact that they're in conversations with Jadeveon Clowney, I didn't really like it with the Miles pairing because. It's just Jadeveon is a guy that when the attention isn't on him, he tends to cause a problem. He tends to cause a little bit of drama, and I feel like that's what happened his first time around. But I don't know. Something about him being paired with Verse on the other side just really intrigues me. I just think it could be a good duo. And
I love the idea of adding a pretty good. Again, he's still pretty damn good. And again, everybody just got him wrong for a long time. Jadeveon just was never going to be like the 20 sack guy.
Sure.
But he's really good against the run. He's really good. Like he's
a disruptor. He's a disruptor.
Really good player. Really good player.
He's a disruptor. And I
love that addition if they make it.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, I totally think that Jared Verse is going to be a 12 to 13 sack guy. He's He's improved both the years that he's been in the league. He's improved. So I have every faith in the world that he's going to be a perennial double-digit sack guy in this league. And he's going to be unfairly criticized while he is here because everybody, and, I love you Browns fans, but a lot of you are fucking ignorant, and you're just gonna compare him to Miles when nobody is Miles. So you have to look at him. You got to try to look at him objectively, right? Because 12, 13, 14 sacks in the league is very good.
It's really
just
good.
Not. It's just not
23.
It's just not fucking. Nobody's ever going to be Miles. You have to put it in perspective.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I think I love the idea of adding Clowney. I think that's great. I think then you use your human eyeballs, and you look and you go, okay, this offensive line got a really good chance to be pretty good. It's gonna be better than last year's offensive line. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
It fucking better be, or else Andrew Barry is going to be out of a job.
This wide receiver room, much better. Your running backs, again, I hope they just have the 3 dudes. Give me the 3 second-year guys. That's a good room. You don't have David Njoku. And there's no great replacement. I know they drafted a couple and then they brought in others, but none of them are David Njoku. But you do have Harold Fannin. Then you look at the defense. You don't have Myles Garrett. That is going to make them worse. But I also like the idea of Mike Rutenberg's defensive philosophy of I've never really loved the idea that we're just going to go straight into rush 4 guys, drop everybody else back. I think conceptually, that sounds great, but you're still putting 4 guys up against 5 guys, sometimes 6. And when you have Myles Garrett, it's different. But I love that it sounds like they're going to. Now, I don't want them over blitzing because that can cause problems in the NFL too. But I love the idea that they're going to throw some more blitz packages in. I thought they needed to do that last year and the year before.
I'm very interested to see what Quincy Williams does in this defense. I think the guy is just an athletic freak, and I think he can fly around the football field. The question, my only concern with him is his over pursuing problems. All right, is he going to take himself out of the play a lot because of his freak athleticism? If he doesn't, and he's able to control it, play with a controlled chaos, I think he can be a beast in this defense.
Yeah. So again, and you look at what they did at safety, and you look at their corners, and it's just you look around the team. Even God, I feel like the way Andre Schmidt ended the season last year, you feel like, oh my God, maybe we got a kicker. There just seems to be lots of parts and pieces in place.
Sure,
this is not a horrific roster.
No,
except
at the quarterback position,
just can't have the worst quarterback play. You just can't. And I think that's the other side of this is I'm very excited to watch and see how Todd Monken suits an offense to these guys. I'm very excited for that. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about. It'll be interesting. Bandito wants to know if this means that we're all going to go 15-2 when Cameron joins us.
No, it's 4-13. I will never pick the Browns to win again.
You said that last year, and then you picked them to win all the games.
Well, no, that was 2 years ago because I had to mix it up and have fun. There was of course I didn't knew the Browns weren't going 17-0. Come on.
I don't think you knew.
Maybe not.
All right, we haven't even done our beers of the week yet, so let's do our beers and our assholes of the week. So let's start with our beers of the week. Chad, what are you drinking over there?
I already threw mine away. I already had it. It was that Salt and Lime lager from Breckenridge Brewery. I already had it on, but I didn't. We're going on vacation on Friday, so I didn't buy any new beer. But that's what I had. That's what I drank. That's what I drank.
Right. I see. I know Bandito's drinking something, probably sitting on the front porch. So let us know what you're drinking, Bandito. I think I saw. Let's see. I think Chef is drinking. I do love the Dragon's Milk Bourbon Barrel Stout is a delightful beer. And a couple of those will have you in a good place, Chef Brian K. Who else? Who else is having some brewskis? Phil is having the Abita Turbo Dog. So that is
I thought it was Abita.
Barcelona. I never heard of or seen these beers before. But my beer of the week, it's from Phase 3 Brewery, which is in Lake Zurich, Illinois, which is northwest of Chicago. Kind of, I don't know. Lake Zurich.
Fuck yeah.
I thought it was, to be honest with you, I thought it was Hawaiian because it's called Makawo.
Mecca like a high, Mecca hiney ho. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, look at Bandito's drinking in a PBR. Gotta love that. Always a good decision. Anyways, you know this is a beer made for me when it's a double dry hopped, double hazy IPA.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Now I know what the double dry hopped is all about. I don't know what double hazy means. It's hazier than, but look at it. It's hazy, and it's
baby.
This is crisp and refreshing, and about 8%.
Take a sip. And a Toyota Tacoma just pulled in your driveway. You're the proud owner of a Toyota Tacoma.
Bro, you talked about Breckenridge. I'm gonna rename my kids Brecky
and Declan.
Declan, yes. No, it's a very good beer. Again, I've never even heard of Phase 3 Brewing out of Lake Zurich, Illinois, but they make a hell of a double dry hopped, double IPA, a double hazy IPA. So that's mine. Chad gave you his. You guys keep putting yours in the comments and we'll flash them up. But Chad, let's move on now that we're at the halfway point of the show, and let's do our asshole of the week. And I'm just going to lead our conversation right into mine, because my asshole of the week this week, and this is like an annual asshole of the week for me here, but every flipping season, and I think it's one person that came up with this idea and then they just ran with it. And I do want to say there are like 3 people on this network that I really like, but ESPN Cleveland during training camp puts up the goddamn quarterback stat tracker. And I don't know whether the stat tracker is the asshole of the week, or whether ESPN Cleveland is the asshole of the week, or whether it's the one person I'm probably thinking of that put it up there that's the asshole of the week. I don't know. They're all the asshole of the week. All of them, because what do we do? Quarterback training camp stat tracker. Like actively trying to make people stupider is what you're doing with that. Again, quarterback stats in training camp do not mean anything at all. And as a matter of fact, and it's like what I just talked about with Schwabi, it would be like saying Gavin Williams sucks at pitching because he had a 6 ERA in training camp or in spring training. That's not how it works. These guys are out there trying to work on things. And like, I'm not trying to stick up for Deshaun Watson. And you can make judgments based on how he looked, but I do not care how many passes he completed versus incompleted, because maybe for like 3 of those passes, they were just trying to work on his timing with Denzel Boston or Casey Concepcion, or they were working on a special route package that they were just trying to force passes into windows, and it didn't really matter whether a defender was there or not. When you put that online, you are actively making the fan base dumber, because there's a group of fans that just don't know better, but they see that and they think, well, this means something. It means nothing. And to put it up like they do all the time just makes them assholes. So I don't know whether it's ESPN Cleveland or the stat tracker, the quarterback tracker itself. Phil had it too. Phil's asshole of the week is the quarterback tracker. It's total assholery. Total assholery.
Outstanding.
Chad.
Yeah?
You next.
Okay, got it. So, yeah, I mean, if you listen to this podcast in the past, everybody knows that I'm a much bigger college football fan than I am an NFL fan. And I cannot wait for the season to start. But for fuck's sake, we are 3-4 weeks away from week 1 of college football, week 0 even. And it's already started with, the SEC hasn't done well in the playoffs because their regular season is so much tougher.
Oh, God.
That narrative has already started. I just heard Laura Rutledge today. I came across a Laura Rutledge clip today that says, oh, the conference is just so chaotic every week. It's just so crazy. Shut up. Just shut up.
Like, just shut up. Because God, these people think like Mississippi State would be the second best team in the Big Ten.
I know.
They think Vanderbilt would be. These teams suck.
Yes.
Yes. Kentucky, they suck.
Yeah, it's already started, and so I'm always going to hate it, and I will never not bring it up when it happens, because it's such a terrible narrative. It's good for clicks, it's good for ratings. I get why they do it, but it's such a ridiculous narrative.
Yeah, outlandish stuff.
Yeah,
you have a conference with how many teams? 1 million?
Yeah.
There's some really good teams in there. There's some mediocre teams in there, and there's some really bad teams in there.
Right.
Like, people are like, and listen, I like a team from the SEC, although you know me forever. I've always hated like the SEC fandom. I freaking hate that.
Right.
But like,
Right.
you'll have people that will tell you that like LSU was good last year. They were terrible.
Yeah, no, they were not.
LSU would have lost to Wisconsin last year. Like LSU was terrible.
Bring them down to the South. They wouldn't be as good. Yeah, I would love to see Illinois play in Tiger Stadium.
I don't understand it. And even their mediocre teams are so inflated.
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Fart noise. Listen, I got A&M, man, and we made the playoffs last year, and I think we're going to be really good again this year. But like, if I put A&M in the Big Ten, do I think they're in along the ranks of Ohio State and Oregon and maybe Penn State? But like, no, it's these two mega conferences, especially. You did it to yourselves.
Yeah,
you did it to yourselves. You're the ones that made yourselves 20 teams deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nonsense. I agree with you. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. It's good. It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
All right, those are our assholes of the week. And we've talked about Browns, but we've got some other stuff to talk about. And let's get this one out of the way, Chad, because I don't really care so much about what happened, but it's the reaction to me is so strange. But we haven't had a chance to talk about this. I know it happened on Friday, but we haven't had a chance to talk about the fact that LeBron James kind of shocked the world a little bit when he made his announcement that he had chosen his team and it wasn't coming home to play for Cleveland and it wasn't going back to Miami, a place he was familiar. He wasn't going to play with Steph and Draymond and Golden State. No. LeBron James chose the Philadelphia 76ers, a team he had no connection with. He had no whatever with. But he chose the Sixers, the team that went out and made the trade for Jaylen Brown, a team with Joel Embiid, and when he plays, he's good. A team with Maxey and Edgecombe, and there's a lot of good players there. And LeBron James goes and joins the 76ers. Just because you and I didn't really talk about it much, because I think I was so exhausted by the whole thing.
Sure.
I was so exhausted by it.
Because he dragged it out for so fucking long.
Yeah. But your reaction?
I honestly wasn't surprised because the only two teams that it really made sense to me was either Cleveland or Philadelphia. That's it. Because basketball-wise, you knew he was looking to win. I mean, he wasn't looking to join a Heat team that still needs pieces around it to truly contend for a championship. Golden State is 75 years old. The entire roster is like 75 years old now. I mean, it would have been fun to see him play with. No, it wouldn't have. It wouldn't have been fun to see him play with Steph.
No,
and
I wouldn't have liked it.
And then who's the other team?
That was it, really. I mean, Minnesota was in there.
Minnesota was in there, I guess. But no, Cleveland or Philadelphia, basketball-wise, were the only two teams that made sense to me. So the fact that he chose Philly, I don't think I'm surprised. I think maybe talent-wise, maybe bench-wise, like Philly's like a little bit deeper, and he felt that they gave him the best chance to win. I mean, obviously, he felt that because he signed for the veteran minimum.
Right. So, which is all. I think he was going to do that wherever he went.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Like, did I want him to come back to Cleveland for the storybook ending? Yeah, of course I did. But I'm also not upset that he went to Philly because he felt like it was the best chance to win. I don't know. It's if people are so mad. Oh well, he screws Cleveland over again. He shouldn't have let on that Cleveland was an option anyway. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What big free agent doesn't let on that he's going to sign with whatever team?
Cleveland fans, I love it. I'm a Cleveland fan.
Yeah.
But I'm going to, just like I call out my family when they do stupid shit, Cleveland fans are so damn soft mentally sometimes. They're so fragile and emotional. It is gross. You mean to tell me that you think LeBron should have come out at the beginning of free agency and been like, well, I do want to just make one special announcement for my Cleveland fans. I just want you to know that I'm not going to go to Cleveland. I don't want you to get your
Putting it
hopes
out
up.
there.
I don't want you
Putting
to,
it out
I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want you to get your hopes up. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it out there right now that I'm going to think about other teams. I'm not going to come back to Cleveland. So I just want you to be okay.
Yeah.
It's soft, fragile bullshit. What are we doing?
Yeah.
He didn't lead anybody on.
Yeah.
He did not. He didn't say anything. Rich
No,
Paul
he
did his
did
thing.
not.
He did his whiteboard thing, and he had Philly on there, and he had Miami, he had Golden State, and he had Minnesota, and he had Cleveland. He had like 8 teams on there.
Yeah.
And was LeBron considering coming back to Cleveland? By all accounts, yes. So what are you talking about? I have people arguing with me that this was worse than the original decision, and I have to address this on the show. It is the most asinine thing I think I've ever heard.
Yeah.
LeBron James has not played here in Cleveland in 8 seasons. He spent 8 seasons with the Lakers. He didn't leave us to go join Philly. He didn't remember the first. I think it's just time makes people forget the decision where he promised the city of Cleveland he's not going anywhere until he wins us a championship, and nothing matters more to him than winning Cleveland a championship, and he's not going in, blah, 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 blah. And then he went, and he did it the way he did it, and national TV, and stringing everything, and then that, 1 billion times worse. I don't know whether fans thought they were entitled. Like, it's like an entitled thing, too. LeBron's going to come home. He has to. You have to finish it here. I wanted him to come here, and I didn't give a shit about the storybook ending, to be honest with you. I mean, I thought it would have been cool, I guess. I wanted him to come here because him as a small forward, as a point forward, would have been a really good thing for the basketball team. It would have been good for the basketball team. That's the only reason I wanted him to come here. It's fine. But he didn't, and he didn't owe us anything.
Yeah.
It's so fragile and it's gag-inducing for me to watch people just whine. Oh, he did it to Cleveland again. He did it again to Cleveland. He didn't do anything to Cleveland.
No,
he just chose to go somewhere else. That's all.
That's it. The only reason you're so upset about it, people are so upset about it, is because you built it up in your head that he should come home because you felt like you deserved him back in Cleveland. That's why you got emotional over it. You based your opinion off of emotion. It wasn't. If you would have thought about it logically, you would have been fine, because you would have remembered that he paid his penance for the 2010 decision. He came back and he gave you your first championship in 50 plus years. For some of us, it might be our only Cleveland sports championship in our lifetime. So it's the fact that you think that this is like exactly like 2010 is just completely ridiculous. And ridiculous. And another thing to piggyback off of that. When he made his decision, this team was left in shambles because they did such a shitty job of putting a team around him. There was nobody left in the cupboard to do anything. As far as his basketball team goes.
You mean the first time?
Yeah, the first time.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, no, this is still a very good team. I mean, James Harden's going to resign, apparently, according to all reports. There still might be a Jonathan Kuminga signing. I don't know anything about that guy. I don't know
what else they're going to do.
Yeah, I don't really pay attention to the NBA much outside of the Cavs. But the fact that this is still a very good basketball team. Yes, the East got tougher. A lot of teams got better. But this is still a very talented Cavs team. So they're going to be right in the mix. They're going to be a playoff team. It's just another thing, a reason why this LeBron last decision should soften the blow.
I think you again, I don't know what else they should do something else, but I think you brought up a point that I've been trying to tell people too. Do you think at any point last year the Cavs played to like their potential?
No.
Last year was a flipping slog.
Yeah, it felt like they were trekking through mud a lot of the season and into the playoffs.
They were 18-17.
Yeah.
At one in January.
Yeah.
And it felt desperate. And Darius Garland was playing. When they had Darius Garland, DeAndre Hunter, and Donovan Mitchell, all three of them were in the top 10 of 3-point shots taken per game, and all 3 of them are in the bottom 10 of 3-point percentage. Donovan Mitchell did not have one of his great seasons. The guys themselves did not have. You come off the season they had the year before, they won 64 games or whatever it was, and they went on multiple 15-game winning streaks, and it was just cruising. Yeah. Last year was like running through mud with this team, and yet they still were one of the last 4 teams standing. And I know that's not the ultimate goal, but like we're talking about a team that never really reached their potential, wound up being one of the last 4 teams standing in the NBA. So to sit here and act, that's the other thing. I know they haven't made this big move in the offseason, this big splash move. I don't really know outside of LeBron what that move would have been. I know people think, oh, Jaylen Brown. I'm not the biggest Jaylen Brown fan anyways, but like, whatever. This team, you are still going to bring back your 4 guys, unless, again, I still think there's going to be trades on the table. I still think there's other moves that could be made. But like,
according to Sam Amico, there's apparently some big star rumors that like nobody's even thought about yet.
But like, we'll see. Even if they filled in with like a Kuminga and maybe another decent replacement type player, and you ran it back, like this is still. People are acting like because they didn't get LeBron, they're just. I got people telling me they're going to struggle to be in the play-in, and I'm like, you're smoking crack.
Yeah,
you're smoking crack.
Yeah,
this is a really good basketball team. 100%.
Yeah. Now they finally got a white forward to replace the other white forward, Dean Wade, and Mario Hezonja. That's it. They got that. They got that guy.
5th overall pick in the draft.
How do you feel about that, Cavs fans?
Hey, listen, I secretly love that move. Because we've seen that with some guys before where they came over from overseas, weren't ready for the NBA, went back overseas, and then came back and like could ball out a little bit. I'm a little bit excited about that. And he's 6'9", so good size.
Nice.
I'm ready for it.
Taller than Jared Allen.
I just, for me, I wish LeBron would have signed here. I would have been much happier if he did. It would have been a lot of celebrating. Would have been cool. He didn't. It's not a slight on the city. And I think, I don't remember who said this, but I think they bring up a good point. And I think this is the last thing I wanted to talk about with it. But like, people talk about the story, and then people talk about LeBron's statement that he made about coming back and about, he thought for a little while, and again, I don't buy what LeBron says all the time. I think he tries to tell a story, and I don't think it's always honest. But do I think LeBron was going to retire? No. Do I think that was really ever a consideration? No. But he made it sound like it was. But I will say this, as far as when he said it gives him a reason to sacrifice and fight, and it's a new challenge, I think that probably is one of the biggest parts of it.
Sure.
It's his story is written in Cleveland. He came back and did what he said he was going to do, and he delivered something that nobody delivered since the 60s.
Yeah.
His story's written in Miami. He went down there and he called it like it was his college. And he and Dean Wade and Chris Bosh and Ray Allen, they did something special down there in Miami.
Sure.
And his story's written in LA, and he's been to 3 franchises, won 3 and won titles at all 3. So now I wonder if it isn't motivation for him to be like, all right, 4th franchise. I don't want to have gone to 3 franchises and won, or 4 franchises and won titles with only 3 of them. I want to try to win with a 4th. Little extra motivation there. That makes a lot of sense to me. That makes a lot of sense to me. 43 years in, trying to do something somewhere new. I get that. So I'm not happy about it, but I understand that. I understand it. And the last thing I'll say, 41 years old, I get very tired of people being like, he's just ring chasing. Isn't that the fucking point at this point? Like, what should he have gone to the Pelicans? Because he likes New Orleans? Like, should he have gone to Memphis? Yeah, okay. He picked a team with a good roster. And he's trying to win more titles. At 41, 23 or 24 seasons or whatever it is in the league. Like, Chad, hasn't he kind of earned that right?
I honestly don't get. I honestly don't get when people complain about that anyway. Because I mean, if I'm an athlete, I mean, you got to put yourself in the athlete's shoes. Be honest. Why should I wait? Unless I'm on a team that is clearly building towards something, towards a championship, or I know I've got a good roster. I know I've got unless I know I have that. But why should I wait till I'm 40, till I'm over the hill to go looking for a ring, or looking for my big payday? Right? I mean, that's the point of getting into professional sports, is to make your money, help your family, okay, and win championships. Those are the two reasons you get into professional sports. Period. Point blank. So I don't understand when people say that. When people, always just ring chasing. Yeah, I would be too, and so would you.
At 41, he's earned it. Go chase your rings, my dude.
Yeah.
You're probably going to play 2 more seasons.
Yeah.
Chase your ring, buddy.
Yeah. Maybe you can make this one a legit one as opposed to the Lakers.
Oh, boo. All right, let's get off LeBron. Again, I just wanted to say my piece on that, because I feel like so many people turned to. There was a big conversation between Phil and Chef Brian K in the comments about baby back ribs, and I think a lot of people in Cleveland acted like baby back bitches about their feelings about LeBron not coming back, and we had to have that conversation. Chad, also coming up, MLB trade deadline is Monday.
Whoopee. Guards are going to stand pat.
You think they're going to stand pat?
Yeah. I would be shocked. I mean, I never have any expectations of this club doing anything, and I hate them. I had a thought today. I wonder where this team would be over the last decade, or going back into the Tito years, if they were in a different division. I wonder if right, because it's they've been able to use winning a weak AL Central division as a scapegoat for standing pat. Right, when they clearly have in all of those years have needed something to take them over the top. Now, one year they did decide to do it, and they won 100 games out of it. They did, but it was the only year they've ever done it, and it's like it spooked them. So after that, they've done absolutely nothing, and I want them to make moves. Of course, I want them to make moves. They need to make moves if they want to go all in. I don't have any confidence that they'll do anything.
Yeah. Here's the problem. One of the problems is what they need right now is just going to be so incredibly inflated in cost, right? What they need right now, one of those like right-handed power bat kind of guys, they don't exist. And to try to get one on the market is like the problem is, I feel like just a little bit on the other side of it, I feel like they could get like a decent return for like Reese Hoskins. Because some team is going to look at him and be like, shit, we need something.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like the price for what the Guardians need the most is just going to be outlandish. And unless you're talking about bringing in a literal lineup altering player, I'm not talking about like a Josh Bell type guy. I'm talking about like somebody that comes in and literally alters the lineup, makes them just slap him in the middle of the lineup, and all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, they're going to add a run a game. Like that kind of guy. I don't want him like dismantling things for a random Joe Schmo, like a Lane Thomas. And I don't want that. And so it's a hard place to kind of be, because I don't know who's there that that's gonna be available to them. And that would make sense.
Sure, but you have to. You gotta try. You gotta try. If you're serious about winning, you gotta try. Right, and I know you hold on to your prospects for so long because of the way they do business and the way that the way this team's philosophy is right now. But you have to try. If you are serious about actually winning a championship, you have to try. And we're probably going to hear reports about, Guardians were in on this guy, Guardians were in on that guy. Were you? No, you probably weren't, because that's just a smoke and mirror to me, because they never make moves. If they had this reputation of taking risks, taking a chance on a guy, and taking a chance on a guy like Lane Thomas is not a risk. That's not a move to get you over the top. That's a move in hopes that he's gonna get hot down the stretch. No, it is. This is a team that is just stuck. It's stuck in its ways, and it's mind numbing. And the fact is there's still a bunch of games left in the season, and they're probably going to sit there right around the top of the AL Central, and they're just going to just needle you with look at where we are. We won another Central Division. We got at the top. We got in the wild card. We got in the playoffs again, and they're not going to build off of it. So at some point. And like I said earlier, at some point, all these Central Division titles and these playoff appearances, they become your scapegoat. They become
that's what it is. That's all it is.
Yeah, they become meaningless when you don't actually try to do something to put you over the top.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Listen, there's a dude out in San Francisco, Elio Ramos, that right-handed outfielder kind of guy that I would think, all right, that would be great. I just don't see them, I don't see them going out and nabbing like a big name person. Obviously, they could use another pitcher. I don't know. What's his face out in San Diego, their closer. I think, you add another arm to the back end of this bullpen could be awesome. I don't know what they're willing to give up.
What's the point in getting another pitcher, though, if you can't score runs?
Well, yeah, I know, but or at the same time, it's like, well, we don't have the world's greatest lineup, so let's pitch the shit out of the ball.
They've been pitching the shit out of the ball. Gavin Williams had 11 strikeouts in his last 4 outings, 6 outings.
They gave Gavin Williams one run, I was at Gavin Williams' game in Cleveland against Tampa last week.
Yeah,
he was so good. He was so good. And it was just like, but no, you're not going to win. Or not against Tampa. Who was that against? Minnesota. But then you look around, and then another interesting topic comes up, and it's the same topic we've had over and over and over again. But you look around the league, and what's the biggest story right now? Is Detroit going to trade Tarek Skubal?
Yeah.
Which, again, people are like, well, I don't think they should trade him because they're only 5 games out, but he's a free agent. And if they don't think they're going to re-sign him, then you have to trade him. You've got to.
Right.
And what's the big story right now? Shohei Ohtani, they're going to kind of shut down his pitching because he's got some wear and tear from pitching. And I should have put the picture up. It was on, pardon the interruption, today. The conversation, the headline was, do the Dodgers need to trade for Tarek Skubal now with Ohtani getting shut down? God. And that might send it. That might be, like, I think I'm actually rooting for it to happen.
Yeah.
Because I think that might be the thing that sends this whole thing over the tipping point.
Right.
When we talk about, and I don't want to rehash the entire salary cap, no salary cap, spending, whatever conversation. But I think it's a part that isn't talked about enough. We have the conversation in the offseason when people are teams are signing free agents, and you got 10 teams basically vying for every decent free agent, and then you've got 20 teams vying for the scraps. But what people don't talk about enough is that's exactly the same damn thing that happens at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing. Look at all the big name players that are like reported to be on the block in the trade deadline, and it's the same 6, 7, 8 teams that are going to be vying for them. It's the Dodgers, it's the Yankees, it's the same teams over and over and over and over and over again. And like, it's not just a problem in signing free agents. It's you get to the trade deadline and like you could be the Guardians or think of Tampa or Milwaukee, these teams that have good farm systems and stuff. but they don't want to like trade their players because I don't want to give up. It's the same thing with the Guardians. I want them to go all in, but part of going all in is, are we going to trade for a guy and be willing to take on either the ability to re-sign him in the offseason or take on his contract as it sits right now? And like, there are a lot of teams that just won't do it. And that is also why I'm rooting. I desperately hope that I get the notification that the LA Dodgers trade for Tarek Skubal. I desperately hope for it because I think it's going to be the thing that sends it over the edge. Something has to send it over the edge.
Which would be perfect. And you know what? If you're the Guardians, this would be a perfect year to go all in, right? If you can find some expiring contracts, right?
Yeah.
And knowing that this thing is going to completely reset in 28.
Yeah.
Right? That the 27 might not actually happen in 28. Like it's going to be completely reset. Why not? Why not? Why not? But they won't. But they won't. They refuse because they want to rely on internal development. And to be fair, you got some great kids coming up. Ralphie Velasquez is going to be a stud. Angel Janau is going to be a stud. Chase Delauder, Travis Bazzana, you got a good nucleus of young kids there, but you oh God. Just relying on that to get you where you need to go. It just doesn't. It doesn't happen.
Well, and it's I don't know, man. It's just I agree with you. Like, yeah, go ahead and go all in. And here's the problem. This is, again, there's a logic problem with the way a team like the Guardians or like Milwaukee or Tampa or whatever want to do things. I know Milwaukee and Tampa are some of the best teams in baseball. The Guardians right at the top of their division. But what you are relying on, we want the development of our players to lead us to division titles, playoff appearances, World Series appearances, World Series title, right? That's the goal for these kind of teams, right, Chad? Like that's it.
Sure.
What's the problem with this? Why is it not logical? Because by the time the next three guys develop that you need to play with Chase Delauder and Travis Bazzana and these guys, they're going to be gone to their next teams. And now it's going to be those three guys and a bunch of scrubs again. It's a vicious cycle. It can't happen. And we've seen it. We've seen them get close when everything clicked just right. We've seen them get close.
Yeah.
Just like you might see Milwaukee get close. You might see Tampa get close. But is there any part of you that thinks Tampa or Milwaukee or whatever is going to – any part of you thinks Milwaukee's going to go up against the Dodgers in a 7-game series and beat them 4 times?
Yep, of course.
No shot.
No, I know.
And I feel for them. I feel for all the teams that are in a position like the Cleveland Guardians. Because think about being a Milwaukee fan right now. It's a blast. You got Mizorowski out there. You got a good offense. It's a good time up there. But in the back of your head, you're like, again, all I hear is Paul Dolan. Enjoy him.
Yeah, for sure.
You better enjoy Mizorowski now. Because a couple of years, he's going to be playing in New York.
Yeah. Yep. We'll see. I mean, baseball needs a retooling. If the game is going to survive, it needs retooled. And I know the big time players don't want a salary cap, but I think if this game is going to survive, they need a retooling.
Everybody, the only people that don't want a salary cap are the big time players.
Yeah. And you can figure out a way to pay them and retool and make it.
Yeah, act like they're not going to make a ton of money.
Yeah.
I love the people saying it to me online today. Oh, the Players Association just they'll never accept a salary cap. And I'm like, what about the middle relievers that are all going to get a raise when the salary floor kicks in?
Right.
What about the utility guys that are all going to get a raise? The fact of the matter is, with a salary cap and a salary floor, everybody's income, the top guys, no, you're not going to have a guy making $1 billion over 5 years. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
The top guys are still going to make a ton of money, though, and everybody else is getting brought up.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. It's just the NHL Players Association said the same thing back when they locked out. said, "Oh, we'll never accept a salary cap." And eventually they figured, well, everybody wants to get paid, so we'll accept a salary.
Correct.
So,
yeah, I hope. I don't know, man. I hope baseball sticks to its guns, and I hope they force the issue. And again, I hope Derek Skubal goes to the Dodgers, and I hope the Dodgers win another World Series. And I'm going to literally be rooting for it. It is if the Guardians get hot and go on to win the World Series, that will be the thing I root for. The minute the Guardians are eliminated from this thing, I will wear white and blue. I am full on Dodgers the rest of the way. All I care about is that the Dodgers win the World Series if the Guardians don't. That's it. That's all I give a shit about. All right, Chad, 10:25. It is time for us to do our cheers. Is there anything we missed? Anything we missed from?
Nope.
Almost time to start getting into talking about college football, so we'll get into that soon.
I got it. We'll get a Buckeye interview here for you soon.
Yep. But why don't we do our cheers of the week and get out of here with episode 323? Chad, why don't you lead us off? Cheers of the week.
Well, as much as I found the SEC narrative to be my asshole of the week, I'm going to give my cheers to Brett Bielema for that because I just love how he takes jabs at the SEC whenever he whenever he can. And he said today at media day, he said, "I know the SEC commissioner down there has to protect the SEC. He wants to live in 2005 forever." So. I love it. It's my favorite when anybody in the sport takes a jab at the SEC. I always got to bring it up. So cheers to you, Bielema.
Cheers to Brett Bielema. All right, I did not see that coming on the show.
Well, you don't see a lot come from me, pal.
Yeah, that's right. My cheers going to go to a friend of the show who you guys know if you watch the show a lot, we love the Columbus Blue Jackets. We love their organization, and they've been so good to us. Having said that, it doesn't mean we don't call them out when we think they're not doing something right or they made a mistake. And I think the Columbus Blue Jackets have made a mistake. And I don't know what forced their hand. And so there's a lot behind the scenes that maybe I don't know about, but I still think they made a mistake. And what was that mistake? They severed ties with a really, truly great radio broadcaster in Bob McElligott. Again, he's a guy that's been on our show. He's a really good guy, just a really friendly, outgoing, awesome guy that we've interacted with on multiple occasions. And not only that, but he's an excellent radio broadcaster. Excellent radio broadcaster for the Columbus Blue Jackets. He had some awesome calls for them, some awesome moments for them. And the Blue Jackets, it was announced that they're going to be part of the 6, 7, 8 teams, whatever it is, that the NHL is kind of going to control their broadcasting. And the Blue Jackets decided that they're just going to simulcast their TV guys, which we love their TV guys. Mearsy, great dude. Jody Shelley, great dude. Obviously, Metz is one of our guys, but they're just going to simulcast the TV broadcast on the radio. And that just doesn't, it's not the same. You can't do, I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah.
You don't call a game on TV the same way you do on the radio because you don't need to.
Right.
And that's what they're going to do. And in the meantime, it's Bob McElligott that got caught in the crosshair. So I'm just going to give him a cheers wherever he goes. I know he's going to land on his feet. He's an awesome radio guy, awesome broadcaster, awesome play-by-play guy, and he's a better person. And I was sorry to see him go, but I want to give him a cheers because we're thinking about him. We're hoping to boost him up a little bit. And cheers to his time with Columbus and everything he did down there.
Boom.
Cool. Boom. All right, that's going to do it for episode 323. All we got to do now is give out our thank yous, and then we are out of here. First of all, thank you to our host, the OBR. Get over to the OBR.com. Make sure you hit subscribe for all the best Cleveland Browns coverage. The Orange and Brown Report is Cleveland's oldest and largest independent Browns coverage site. So get over to the OBR.com and make sure you are subscribed for training camp, for the preseason, for the regular season, and everything that follows. You want to be part of the OBR community. Big thank you to our special guest from Channel 19 here in Cleveland, Mark Schwab, friend of the show, good overall guy. Great chat with him, a lot of laughs, a lot of fun at the beginning of the show. If you missed it, go back and watch it because Schwabi was great. So big time shout out to Schwabi. And as always, our biggest thank you goes out to all of you. If you joined us live tonight, if you were in the comments, we love you. We appreciate you. We're glad you spend your Wednesday nights with us. If you couldn't join us live tonight, remember, you can always catch us later on YouTube or Twitch, or you can listen to the podcast version on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. But we love you. We appreciate you. You guys get our big cheers every single week. That's going to do it for episode 323. He is Chad Meyer over on the east side of Cleveland at Garage Beers. Chad, I am Michael Keefe at Garage Beers. Mike, we will see you next week for episode 324. Until then, as always, cheers, everybody.